CNN reporter Jim Acosta had some not so nice words for his colleague over at Fox News, Tucker Carlson. Take a look.
You recall I recently described Fox News as the bullshit factory in honor of its steady stream of bogus segments aimed at ginning up viewer outrage. But Tucker has really outdone himself this week. So I've decided to award Tucker with the distinction of Bullshit Factory Employee of the Month. Congrats, Tucker. You did it. Nobody bullshits like you when it comes to the insurrection. Nobody does it as good as you.
Nobody does it better. Okay. I love it. Fun times. So he's right, though. Of course, Fox News is a bullshit factory. But here's the thing. It's not just that. It actually is worse. It's not just bullshit. It's conspiracy theories. Tucker Carlson, Fox News, filled with dog whistles, white nationalism, coupled with some fake populism. And that's used, of course, to advance a dangerous agenda. The entire fact that Tucker Carlson is considered to be a populist is insane. That's not populism, okay? It's demagoguery. But unfortunately, he's fooled a lot of people. And understand, though, that Tucker Carlson is establishment. Not only is he a super wealthy heir on a top-rated so-called news show, which isn't really news. In fact, he himself has admitted we don't actually do news, and people don't actually, really believe the things that I say. It's the classic Alex Jones defense. People don't actually believe the stuff that I say, right? What are you talking about? That would be crazy. But he's also, turns out, to be a key source for top political journalists in Washington, D.C. Because it turns out Tucker's a little bit of a gossip as well as a hypocrite. Yes. Now, there was a column in the New York Times by Ben Smith, and he wrote that Carlson's relationship with several members of the Washington Press Corps revealed. This was revealed by the New York Times, Ben Smith, that Carlson has texted with and spoken to Smith on and off the record on several occasions, as of other national journalists covering politics and media. Citing more than a dozen working journalists, some of them identified and others anonymous, Smith called Carlson's relationship with members of the media, whom he criticizes often on his nightly program, one of Washington's open secrets. So, yeah. I can't believe the Washington elite corporate media that I am always talking to. And that I have a buddy-buddy relationship that I text all the time and give them juicy secrets. Sometimes about Donald Trump. Sometimes about me. And so I'll just give them this stuff and they run with it. Because we're all part of the cocktail circuit. Doesn't matter how much I openly go after you, media. I'm one of you. And I make tons of money doing it. Because, of course. Mr. Carlson, by the way, this is what Smith wrote. Mr. Carlson, a proud traitor to the elite political class, laugh along with me, spends his time when he's not denouncing the liberal media trading gossip with them. He's the go-to guy for sometimes unflattering stories about Donald Trump, as I mentioned, and for coverage of the internal politics of Fox News, not to mention stories about Carlson himself. Carlson, who hosts the highest-rated primetime cable news show in the country, has positioned himself as a Washington insider. Oh no, not our beloved Tucker Carlson! Particularly in the age of former President Trump. His Fox platform, where in May he had a nightly average of 3 million viewers, made him someone who mattered to Mr. Trump, close follower of television ratings. He has a former reporter's eyes for detail and anecdote, and his observations can be detected in the lurid tales of Mr. Trump's chaotic court and Fox's own tumultuous internal politics. Maxwell Tani, immediate reporter at the Daily Beast, told Smith, top brass at Fox News, is aware of Carlson's relationships in the media. Quote, whenever there's a positive story about Tucker, some Fox executives assume he's had a hand in it. Smith also wrote that Carlson has shown an ability to definitely influence media coverage of him, his program, and his commentary. Shocker. It turns out Tucker Carlson loves the elite media because he's part of the elite media. Weird. It's almost as if he's also an enormous hypocrite and a grifter. I know, very strange. Now, the thing is, he's enormously good at this. He's incredibly talented. He has both, by the way, the right wing and members of even the left falling for his grift. I know. And look, the response from many of them is establishment hit piece. Of course. Of course. Is it, though? I actually think this is incredibly complimentary to him. It really shows the skill that he has and the connections that he has to make his show incredibly popular among conservatives, especially. He has smartly capitalized on hatred towards the elite media while being a part of it and the establishment. And again, he benefits from both of those things. 3 million nightly viewers on a dying medium such as television, that is nothing to sneeze at. He's really good at this. Now, understand that I would actually have no problem with Tucker Carlson, using his platform and whatever, and gossiping with other journalists, etc. Even though I don't consider him a journalist, but the thing is that he is instead of using his reach to fight for things like workers, and then claiming again to be anti-establishment and claiming to be against the elitists and the corporations, but he doesn't use his platform to promote that stuff. He doesn't use his platform to promote higher wages for American workers. Instead, he says, ban all the immigrants. Let's get rid of all the immigrants. That's the real problem. Or healthcare. He thinks woke corporations are the problem. Not only that, but again, he doesn't fight for shorter work weeks. Anything that would benefit the working class. No, he doesn't. He just, again, demagogues and punches down at, again, some of the weakest people in the country. Again, immigrants, and spreads harmful, as what Acosta says, bullshit. Now, that said, going back to Acosta, we all know Acosta is also establishment. Yes, CNN is establishment media, breaking news, right? But the thing is that, this criticism of Tucker Carlson is likely, no doubt, has to do with more like the monster ratings that Fox News and Tucker Carlson get, other than the pursuit of the truth. Again, CNN will always has an establishment bias, is always going to report in favor of the establishment. But that doesn't mean Acosta isn't correct in pointing out the reality of Tucker Carlson, nor is Ben Smith. That said, Tucker's going to respond to this in his kind of, oh, shucks kind of way. In fact, he says, quote, I don't know any gossip. I live in a town of just 100 people. Meaning, how does that disprove anything in this report? But again, this is what he does. He makes you think that he is just like him. It's one of the biggest and most successful cons that you can pull. Tucker Carlson did it. Trump did it. And so many other politicians and media figures have done it too. George W. Bush, remember, he's the president I can have a beer with. And you would think that after all the disasters of supporting these types of politicians and giving them a platform and a chance to make policy, that we would have learned our goddamn lessons. But no, it turns out that propaganda is incredibly strong and so very pervasive. And Carlson and people like him are masters at spreading it. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.